Hi Aries, Happy New Year. Welcome to January and your love TarotScope. First, before I start, I want to bring in some good energy for the new year and for January and for this reading. And first I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. I've been reading for a lot of people, and I'm really enjoying the process, and so I thank you for your support, and I thank you for your kind comments. So let's see what's happening for Aries this month of January, this new year, 2018. It starts off with a full moon in Cancer and a Grand Water Trine. That's opposed by a lot of planets in Capricorn. So it's kind of an emotional time, but it's also a very kind of a cold time too, where you have to be real. You have to face reality. We have to get real now. So plus then there's a new moon in Capricorn on the 16th, and then we have another full moon in Leo at the end of the month on the 31st, and this is an eclipse. So this is going to be a powerful month for a lot of people. A lot of things getting shaken up, endings, new beginnings. It's time for us to move out of our comfort zone, I think, and to face reality and to get on the right path. So let's see what the cards have to say for Aries for the month of January. What does Aries need to know about love and relationships for the month of January? What does Aries need to know about love and relationships for the month of January? Okay, let's see. Ace of Wands, Three of Wands, Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Death card, King of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. That's interesting. Okay, so the Ace, you might be starting out in January feeling like it's time for a new beginning. The Ace of Wands usually represents new beginnings, so you might have been putting energy towards something, and maybe you haven't been seeing results, but you might be joining a group or working with a group of people in January, because the Three of Wands shows the results starting to come back. So doors are starting to open up. Opportunities are opening up for you. There even could be, I'm not seeing a lot of love cards this month. It's more career oriented because you have all these wands. So you're fired up. You want to do something. You want to do something new in January. You want to start the new year right. So you may be focused on a goal that's really important to you. And love may take a back seat this month. If it does, well, I'll get to that later. But there's a lot of career and creative energy coming up for you. I feel like if there is a relationship, you might be torn between your relationship and your career goals. Because the Eight of Wands is in the recent past. So this could be the arrows of love. So if you've just met someone, you might meet someone suddenly out of the blue, and you're really excited about it, and you want to move it forward, and you want to just, you want things to happen quickly. And the Ace of Pentacles is also a card of money coming in, opportunity, maybe a job offer. So you're going to have the opportunity to either start a new job or start a new project that's going to bring in money. And so you might be working on financial goals in January. The Seven of Swords, because the Ace of Pentacles is definitely a new beginning that has to do with finances and possessions. So you might be feeling like, I need more money, I need certain resources to move forward in my life, and I'm going to put my energy toward partnering with others so I can get them. You might even be partnering with someone who's an earth sign. Or you might be asking for money from someone, asking for a loan, going to see a bank, maybe thinking about purchasing property. Because the King of Pentacles is here, and that has to do with real estate, finances, someone who deals with money like a bank or an accountant. In any case, there's a lot of this ace, 2 aces in the reading, new energy, new beginnings. Now, the Seven of Swords is the thing that concerns me in this reading. So the Seven of Swords sometimes could be a card of, it's usually known as it's got sneaky energy, or the thief energy, or someone not being honest. So it's possible that you're not facing the truth about something. So in a relationship, maybe you're not wanting to face the reality about a relationship, or you're not wanting to face the truth of something, or you could be trying to move from one situation to another, and you have to kind of keep your plans secret, because the Seven of Swords is a secretive energy. It could also come up when you feel that someone is trying to take something from you, or you feel like someone is taking credit for your work, or not, or not telling you the whole story, not being totally honest. Maybe you're not trusting a partner. Maybe you feel like a partner's not telling you the whole story. So you want to look deeper. You want to find out what's going on in the relationship. And with the Death card here, the Death card represents clearing out. So you might be ending one way of life and clearing out what's no longer working so that you can make room for the new. Make room for like either a new relationship or a new business opportunity. Because I feel like there's opportunities coming up. But first you have to clear out what's no longer working. And you may not be very upfront about it. So you might be, if you're working in a job, you may be kind of like looking for another job on the side, not letting people know what your plans are. Or if you're in a relationship, you may be questioning someone's loyalty, or questioning trying to keep things. Like you may feel like someone's not being honest with you, or not keeping things from you. And if you're planning on leaving the relationship, you may feel like you're not telling the person till the last minute, or you're kind of making plans under the radar. But the Death card is definitely you're going through some type of transformation. So at some point you're going to have to face the truth about, and it could have something to do with the past experiences, maybe past things that you've experienced in childhood, some unconscious stuff that might be coming up at this time that you're not willing to look at. And you're going to have to look at that so that you can move forward. This is like, the Death is like, okay, it's time for a whole new, like you have to rise from the ashes of something that's no longer true, something that you're leaving behind. So you're like, you have to face the truth about something. That some way of life might be ending, or something might be needing to change, needing to transform. In your environment, you have the Nine of Wands. So you may feel that this sometimes can bring someone from the past back. So it could have been that you thought you were done with someone, and you thought the relationship was over, and you thought, okay, I'm done, I'm ready to move on. And then suddenly something comes back to be dealt with again. So you have to deal with, like you might have thought you solved a problem or an issue in a relationship, and then it comes back to be dealt with again. So you have to either defend yourself, or you have to, it's kind of like you have to stand your ground. You have to defend your position and not give up, not quit. Sometimes this can happen. This card means that you've been struggling with a problem and you haven't been seeing results, and a part of you is feeling like quitting. Like, I just want to walk away from this relationship or this situation because I've been trying and trying, and I'm not seeing results, and what's the use? Let me just walk away. But this is a card of saying, if you just give it a little bit, just give it one more shot. Just try one more time. Don't quit just yet, because you're just on the edge of success. So if you just give it a little bit more attention, a little bit more energy, you can achieve what you're trying to achieve. Because I'm seeing career success. This is a card of, you know, success, that you have some kind of talent that you're not utilizing, and you need to utilize it because it can bring in money and it can bring recognition, and it could give you a little bit more independence because you have the Nine of Pentacles here. This is a card of someone, so you might be dealing with someone, if this is not you, you could be dealing with someone who is financially stable, but kind of they live alone. Either they're like, you're dating someone who has money, but they're not in a relationship. They're just by themselves they're surrounded by their money and their beautiful home, their beautiful clothes, their beautiful possessions. And if that's you, you may be feeling like, okay, I've reached a certain point in my life where I have a certain amount of financial security and success, but I want someone to share it with. It's not enough to just have money, and it's not enough to have possessions. I want to share my life with someone. I'm kind of lonely. I want to have a partner. And you may be going through you're going to have some opportunities for success, both in career and opportunities for new beginnings. Maybe even with someone that you're about to give up on. Something may come back, and you might give it that extra effort, and it might turn out differently the second time around. But with these two aces, there's definitely, and the Ace of Wands, this could happen not so much now, but more in the spring. So you might be working toward a goal now, but you'll start to see results starting like March, April. So with this full moon, the full moon is activating your home, your 4th house, and your 10th house. And the Grand Water Trine connects 4th, 8th, and 12th houses. So you're really dealing with things that are coming out of your subconscious. It's time to face your demons, or face the things. Where do you fear intimacy? I mean, a part of you is really, because you have Jupiter and Mars in the 8th house. So you're needing another person. You're wanting to connect with someone. The 8th house is the house of intimacy. It's the house of sex and transformation and other people's resources. It's the house where we realize that we can't go it alone. We need another person in our lives. We want to connect with someone on a deep level. And so you'll be confronting what obstacles have you been putting up that have been preventing intimacy in your life. And that's Neptune in the 12th. You're kind of confused. You're going through a dark night of the soul. Like, what good is my life if I don't have a person to share it with? What good is all that I've achieved if I'm not connected to anyone or anything? So you're going to be having those, you might have been really focused on your career and neglecting your relationship, or you're focused on external things and neglecting your inner needs. And so that's going to be an issue around the full moon. And it's an emotional full moon. So if a relationship, you could be having issues with relationship, with intimacy. But the core problem, where you need to look, is childhood wounds might be preventing you from connecting with someone. So you have to examine your childhood wounds. Examine, how you self-sabotage. Look within. It's time for taking time out to look within at this full moon. But with the Grand Water Trine, it's giving you luck. Like Jupiter in the 8th house and Mars, it's giving you that desire to take action, to make something happen. But the problem is that this is really a strange full moon, because Venus in Capricorn is not a very warm and fuzzy place to be. So you may feel that people are not giving you the love you need, the nurturing you need. You may feel like if you have a partner that they're cold with Venus in Capricorn. Or you might be attracted to someone who has a Saturn Capricornish kind of nature. And that's happening in your 10th house. So maybe your mother was cold and not very warm and loving, so you're attracting partners like your mother or something like that. Or your father, was too harsh with you, and you wanted nurturing. So you're going to be looking at childhood issues. Now, we do have a new moon in Capricorn, and that's coming, and that's going to be on January 16th. And that's in your career sector. That's in your 10th house. And that also is favored by the 8th house. So I'm telling you, the focus really in January is more about career and your social, your place in the world. You're going to be in the position for career success in January. You may be feeling sentimental around the full moon at the beginning of the month. You might be dealing with relationship issues or feeling that you're not getting the nurturing or the support that you need. But you are in line for career recognition with this new moon. And then the eclipse will happen in another full moon. It's going to be activating your 5th and 11th house. So at the end of the month, so after you get your career straightened out, there could be a chance to deal, then you're going to be dealing with either romance, or friendship. It might be some romance or friendship issue, or even children. So once you get your career straightened out, then you might be dealing with, okay, now what do I do about my love life? What do I do about my relationship? I've got my career straightened out now. And eclipses, they can, sometimes it can be a beginning or an ending. Usually with the full moon, things come to culmination. So you could decide that you want to leave a relationship, or someone may be leaving you, if it's a female, because eclipses, full moon eclipses are lunar eclipses. Usually a female disappears, eclipses from your life. So you want to be careful around the second full moon, and make sure you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Or if there's someone who's important to you, you want to make sure that you're making the right decision before you end something, because once the eclipses can be a final ending. So if you're not handling a relationship properly, it can mean that you just walk away, or that person walks away, and that's it, it's over. Or so your decisions are going to be final. Whatever you decide at the full moon at the end of the month is going to be a final decision. It's going to affect the path of your relationships for a long time. So choose wisely. Make sure that you're not just being rebellious, or you're not just being impulsive, because you may not have a second chance to fix things. But as far as career goes, I think that career is really good in January, and that's where your energy is going to be focused in January. And you might wind up getting a job that pays more, because Jupiter's in your 8th house. But there's going to be a conflict between career and relationship, because Venus will be at that time in Aquarius. So you might be thinking, like, you might meet someone who's a little different. You might not want to be tied down. You might feel that you're wanting a little bit more space in a relationship. Maybe you felt smothered in the past relationship, and now you want something that's freer, that's a little bit more like friendship. You might even wind up having a relationship with someone that you once considered a friend that now you're looking at with different eyes. So it could go either way with the eclipse. It could be a new beginning, or it could be a final culmination where you decide, this isn't working, I'm leaving. So, but whatever it is, it's going to be like walking. It's going to be a final, like there's a finality to it. It's not like, well, I decide this today and then I'll change my mind tomorrow. It's going to be a final decision. So you're going to know one way or another by the end of the month, do I want to be in this friendship, relationship, or not? And if the answer is no, you're going to walk away for good. You could possibly walk away for good. If the answer is yes, you could probably then work towards creating something new, especially in February, because in February we have the new moon eclipse, which is going to affect your 11th house of hopes and dreams. So you might be bringing something to fruition in February, but we'll get to that next month. This month, career looks great. This month, you might be dealing with an issue from a relationship that you have been involved in, and you need to resolve it one way or another. And you'll know by the end of the month which way you want to go. Aries has this impatient, restless energy, so you want to make sure that you're not just rebelling for the sake of being rebellious, that you want to think about your decisions and make sure this is what you really want, because whatever you decide will be could be permanent. So that's my forecast for you for January, Aries. I wish you much success and love in the coming year. And I think this is going to be the year of partnership for a lot of people, since it's the it relates to the energy of 2. If you add the numbers of 2018, 8 and 1 is 9, and 2 is 11. That's a master number. So partnership's going to be important. But you want to be with the right person. So don't waste your energy on something that's just not fulfilling. Try to make it work, or move on and find something better. So anyway, good luck for January. I wish you nothing but the best for the coming year, and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.